Guys, you know I am all about helping entrepreneurs get more attention and more visibility on the great work that they're doing. And I am super excited to have Chloe Spillane join me yet again for this very special and unique episode of the Ripple Effect podcast and a feature for The Pond, for our Ripple community.
Don't just speak to her like she is a robot, even though she is a robot. The more you have a conversation with her, the more she'll engage and it will feel real. And even some of her feedback, I said, Chloe, that was a little bit harsh. Can you give me some more constructive feedback? And she's like, I'm sorry, that maybe was a little bit harsh in my tone. Let me rephrase. Like, you know.
Chloe has been an amazing friend and supporter of my work over the last few years since I've gotten to know her. She is incredible. And she has something exciting she wants to share with you, something new that is coming out that she is bringing out exclusively to you. And I want to maximize the reach for what she's doing, because this is the merger of her great mind and tech, and leveraging it to help people that are in the process of seeking that next role or considering a career transition or need someone in their corner that's going to support them. I love how she has looked at this problem, knows it to be something that can be solved, and went to technology to help her expand her reach and deliver her goodness to whoever needs to hear it. I am so grateful that she agreed to, in a week that is very busy for her, to spend some time with us to talk about this exciting announcement. Chloe is the absolute bomb diggity. She's awesome. I can't wait to get into this conversation. So with no further ado, let's jump into our chat with Chloe. Guys, I am super excited to be joined by Chloe today because there is exciting things happening in your world, my friend. I am super pumped to hear everything you got going on and to hear about sort of this labor of love that you've been secretly working on for the last couple of months. So first and foremost, thank you for being here. How's it going?
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for having me again. It's always a pleasure to come back and have a chat to you around what I'm doing and what's happening in the Chloe career space. But yeah, lots of things happening at the moment. Just got back from New York a month ago, so feeling settled back in Australia land in the farm. It's always such a massive contrast when I go from 3 or 6 months in New York to the farm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm finally adjusted.
So you work in the city, right? Tell us about your working environment just a little bit, because I'm really curious, because I've seen the Instagram posts and the reels that you have, and it looks majestic there, but then you end up in an office. So is the farm somewhat closely located near a city? And if so, where?
So we're based in Armidale. Armidale
Okay.
has about 25,000 people. So maybe it's a large country town.
Or one
Uh,
block of New York, right?
yeah, we have two sets of traffic lights. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But my parents' farm, they were both working full time. They were both teachers. Dad was a principal, mum was a teacher. So they've got what's called a hobby farm, still 45 acres, quite large. Uh, and that's about 10 minutes out of town. So I'm just in an office space, which is a shared office space called Nova, where they support startups and founders in the regional area.
That's awesome. And you just got this
Yeah.
office, right? We were just talking about it last week.
Yeah, yep. Just got this office, my very first office, which is exciting.
That's awesome. Does it feel like you actually have a little separation? I know you talk about work-life balance a lot,
Mm.
but does that give you just enough distance from what you do professionally so that you can then go decompress on the farm when you've got your downtime? If you ever have any downtime, you're always working.
I know. I actually realized I talk about work-life balance, but I can't remember the last time I've actually had a holiday, but you've got to do what you've got to do, and I'm fine with it. So yeah, I have my work time at the office, and then I do separate it when I go back home to the farm. I'll leave my laptop here, all of that, and yeah, I do try to separate that. And my parents say, "Oh, why don't you just work here on the farm?" I said, "Well, it doesn't really feel like it's a work environment."
Yeah.
And I guess, and that's a good thing. I said to them, I said, it's a good thing that I don't want to work on the farm, even though I've got my little cottage out the back. I just like to have that separation. And I feel I'm someone that I work well with structure and routine. So coming into the office gives me that. And I had someone say to me the other day, "Oh, you run your own business. You can do your own hours. You don't have to start at 9." I'm like, "Yeah, but through the 2.5 years that I've had my business, I realized that for me, I like just getting in here at a certain time. And yeah, I can choose to do what I want with those hours, but giving that structure and routine just works for me."
Yeah. Well, I loved your
Mm.
post that you had from this weekend where you said, "Hey, it was Sunday. You did some things that you enjoyed. You went to the gym, and then you still came to the office for a couple hours, not because you had to, but because you wanted to." And that's, I think, what I
Yeah.
love about you as an entrepreneur. You are sort of resetting the rules for what most people think hustle culture is, because you're doing it at your own pace and really at really your own sort of way of doing things, right? And you're not having to prescribe to the typical, work, kind of hustle culture that you see a lot of creators out there doing. And you can tell
Mm.
just by following you on Instagram is you're having a lot of fun doing it, which leads us to the
Yeah.
purpose of the conversation today, which is you've got some really
Yeah.
exciting stuff going on, girl. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So I think when we last spoke, I was talking about resume matches and the beginnings of Chloe AI. So when I started Chloe AI, the reason it came to be was I was trying to figure out a way to scale my business. I thought, what's the best way that I can build Chloe AI to be a tool that job seekers can use around the world, anytime, any place, anywhere, because I can't sell my time. So that's how Chloe AI started. And I took myself over to New York, pitched my idea to people to try and get someone to believe me, or believe in me, sorry. And yeah, I went to networking events every week and and I was talking to people about this idea, came across someone that had an interest in it. And then we've been working together ever since on this AI tool. Now, we started it off in the open AI forum. So, you can just look it up on ChatGPT and it's a
Uh-huh.
free tool, but it's owned by OpenAI. But what we really wanted is to bring it into my own platform so we can, discover, look at the questions people are actually asking it, get feedback, and just continue improving it for people. And also remove it from the ChatGPT space so it feels like it's really owned by Chloe Careers and people feel like, oh no, I'm speaking to Chloe.
Yeah.
I think we always had that vibe, or we always had that feedback that people felt like they were talking to me. But now that we have Chloe AI owned by us on my platform, it's very much more of a very niche career coaching tool where people feel that they are talking to me and they can actually see me as well. So we have taken all of the like we've trained the model for the past year, and that's been trained by people, I think hundreds of users. We can't see how many people, unfortunately, but we know it's a lot, have
Yeah.
been using the tool and then have been training her with that information. And then, of course, my own coaching materials have been supporting that as well. And now we have made my digital twin. So, what that means is we have, yeah, I know, it's so weird. I'm cloned.
Oh.
Um, it's very strange. We have the chat function, so people can go on my website, sign up to Chloe AI, and just do chat. That's always going to be your fastest way. I
Yeah.
will say, this AI tech is evolving. We're getting in early, which is exciting, but it's still growing. There's still work to be done. But what's really cool is that people can choose to use the voice video function. So they click on that, and then they'll be taken through to a screen of me just going, idly wait, and then you can just chat to me there. So it's very cool. People can, and it looks just like me. I'm in one of my favorite shirts. I've got this background. Yeah, it's very cool. So
That's
that's where we're
cool.
at now, and yeah, it's definitely a much more sophisticated version of the career coach assistant because you feel like you are genuinely talking to me on your screen.
I mean, I remember when you first approached me, and I think it was still on the GPT platform when you were doing it. But the ultimate vision was to get to where you are, and this is now
Yeah.
launched in the experience that makes all the difference, right? Being able to talk to you, even though theoretically it's your digital twin, but the same
Mm.
voice, the same visual appearance, and feeling like I can, grab a cup of coffee and sit down and have a conversation, explain my circumstances or my
Mm.
challenges, or ask the direct question. is just it's amazing how comfortable that appears. So
Yeah.
tell us who you hope this, really works for and how you want them to use it.
Look, my vision for Chloe Careers is that, and Chloe AI is people can use this tool at any stage of their career. I looked at the way that I was building my business and I thought, I want the customer or the client to come back to me at every stage. I don't want
Yeah.
them to come to me and say, I need help with one job and then never come back. It's like, okay, well, how do you make that user experience ongoing? So the long-term vision is to actually continue building more avatars of experts, like of various experts that can cover people across their entire career. So that's long-term vision. But right now, Chloe is there to support, to be quite honest, to support anyone at any time, at any stage of their career. I think the big thing with Chloe is you can have a real conversation with her. So I was testing it last night, and I was asking for some interview feedback, and I said, "Oh, can you help me put together this question, my answer to tell me about yourself?" And she started going into some long-winded answer, and I was like, "Wait, Chloe, can you give it to me in a bit more of a succinct way?" And she'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let me slow down for you. Let me make this shorter for you." So I think what I really want to educate people on, and this is anyone that uses it, is that don't just speak to her like she is a robot, even though she is a robot. The more you have a conversation with her, the more she'll engage and it will feel real. And even some of her feedback, I said, Chloe, that was a little bit harsh. Can you give me some more constructive feedback? And she's like, I'm sorry, that maybe was a little bit harsh in my tone. Let me rephrase. Like, you know, it's all about the back and forth. But my goal for the video avatar is for people to feel that they have someone they can connect to, bounce ideas off, have someone in their corner that they can have just a conversation with. Like, if you've had a really bad day, if you just need, that pep talk or that confidence boost. I think the human element, even though she's AI, the human element is what really drives that video avatar. So, you can use the chat function for very I guess, specific instruction pieces of information. Like if you're wanting to redo your resume, you would put that in the chat function because obviously that's going to be a text piece, but she can redo your whole resume, LinkedIn profile, give you specific answers to interview questions. But if you say want to do a role play with your interview, she can do a full role play with you.
Like,
So
the way I was thinking, right? If I have an interview tomorrow for a particular
yeah,
role, I could submit my resume. Chloe AI can say, here's some questions that might be potentially harnessed, and based on, the type of role, the type of industry, et cetera. And here's a role play opportunity for us to kind of go back and forth and sort of really
yes.
refine how prepared you are for that interview, which I think is just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think she's a very good tool for those real kind of conversations. If you have a salary negotiation you're going into, you could ask her to say, can you do three types of negotiations with me? An easy
Mm.
negotiation, a hard negotiation. So you're getting real time examples of how to handle those kind of conversations, which I think is really valuable for people. Maybe you can ask Chloe, can you do an interview role play with me and ask me really on the spot questions or unexpected questions? So I think
That's awesome.
she can help you get as prepared as possible without just getting that on the spot, real time conversational feedback.
Hey Ripplers, before we jump back in, I want to take a quick moment to share 2 ways you can go even deeper with us. First, if you're enjoying this podcast, you'll love our paid subscription offers on both Substack and Patreon. That is where you'll get exclusive content, behind the scenes insights, and extra resources about connections and relationships that you won't read anywhere else, plus a few little other ditties. It's a great way to support the show and stay connected between episodes. And let's be honest, if you're craving something even more immersive, and who isn't, check out our Connect and Grow Ripple coaching program. Man, this is a full year of coaching, content, and community designed to help you become a more engaged connector and leader in both life and business. I love this program. I think you will too. You'll join a vibrant community of like-minded Ripplers to gain access to master classes led by dynamic experts including me, attend live workshops, group coaching sessions, and get the accountability and actionable strategies you need to build more meaningful relationships to create an even bigger ripple effect out there in the world, which who doesn't want that? You can find the links in the show notes to sign up today. Hope to see you over there. Ripple on. So let me ask you about the individual user experience. Is that something that if I sign up and I work with you directly, I can continue to build off of what I gave you for prior sessions? Is that your approach? Is that something, that you're kind of can isolate to just our conversation? My conversation with Chloe AI can be segregated. So every time I have a session with her, it's building that content awareness and developing realistically some real rapport.
That's right. So that's one of the biggest reasons as to why we're putting it on this new platform as well,
Yeah.
is whenever you log back in, you'll be able to, like, she'll have been trained on the conversations that you've already had.
That's cool. That's cool. And
Mm.
from a ongoing perspective, I think, you and I talked about this last week when we got on a Zoom, but I've had an opportunity. I do a lot of career coaching. I work with a lot of different career coaches. I've seen a lot of different people in programs. A lot of them in that space are only working on, hey, are you going for that next role, or are you a job seeker and you're looking for the next opportunity? Are you trying to refine your interview skills, or like you said, salary negotiation, etc.? Thing I really like
Yeah.
about your approach is, hey, that could be a big aspect of what you're doing, but you actually want this tool, and of course by Chloe Careers being a part of that person's career path and their
Yeah.
long-term life, right? It's, hey, I landed the dream role, but there's going to be a bajillion things that I need to do better to be a more effective
Mm.
employee or a better leader. And those are all tools and resources that you're putting together to support that individual, no matter where they are in that career development or that growth path, right?
Yeah, that's right. And, we're just getting started with this. So, I'd,
It'll only get
anyone that
better.
joins Korea, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll only get better. And I'd encourage people to, well, I'd like to share with people that, yes, this is going to be a tool that we will continue to add resources in, bring more experts in, build their avatars to help you at, just say, for example, you might be a mum coming back from maternity leave. Our goal is to get someone in that's an expert on that. So, there's going to be ongoing work around the resources and the experts that we bring in. So this is a tool that you will be able to use throughout that entire development or growth of your career. It's not a tool that you just come in and do a practice interview on. Chloe AI is someone that you speak to or have there with you to guide you through your entire career. And the reason she is that is because that's what I am. So
Yeah.
I have one-on-one clients that I work with that can be a recent grad. Maybe there's someone going for an executive level role. But then I have clients that I've helped get a role, and then I help them through probation. I help them through their first 30, 60, 90 days. I wanted to duplicate what I do from a one-on-one perspective into this AI form.
So for someone that's maybe listening and going to be super curious about the tool and leveraging the tool, this is mainly it's a resource, right? Like just another
Yeah.
tool that you can take advantage of. But the vast majority of opportunity you expect probably to transition to more of a one-on-one relationship with you, or at least that's an option for them, right?
For sure. I think I wanted to have Chloe AI so it could be more accessible,
Yeah.
because I'm very aware that people have to invest in coaching. Like, it's an investment. So I wanted to have the Chloe AI option for a more accessible resource. But of course, if you use Chloe AI and then you want the real me, then yes, that's always going to be an avenue that you can go down, and people can be guided towards, like, okay, I've used Chloe AI for a while, maybe a couple of months or whatever it is. I want to actually get some real Chloe. So
Yeah.
then, yeah, that's always an option. Yeah.
I like that because I would imagine I'm a tech guy, right? So at the end of the day, I look at, sort of the tool set that the technology is built around and on. And my guess is if somebody does convert to a live, in person, real time client for you, how they've utilized your tool up to that point could be very advantageous to you. Because I think one of the advantages to
Yes.
AI for a lot of folks is that they'll ask the questions that they feel a little embarrassed or maybe a little uncertain about asking a
Mm.
real person. And that actually, I think, gives you a preview of coming attractions as to potentially how to be a more, to show up and be a more effective coach for them in real time.
That's right. Yes, because I'll be able to see, yeah, something again we couldn't get through the open AI platform. As we're now hosting it, I'll be able to see all the data of what people are asking it in the conversations. Yes, there's going to be privacy, obviously, but yeah, we can see like what are the common things that are coming through, or the common themes. Yeah.
That's awesome. And that gives
Mm.
you the ability to also look at potential trends and different topics or areas of interest that maybe are being asked that maybe you haven't developed or expanded the content, and gives you some insight as the entrepreneur to say, here's an area that I can better serve. I hadn't thought about that, or maybe we need to build or add additional resources. It's a brilliant,
Yeah.
brilliant strategy. I love that. What do you think that the natural resistance is to AI? Everybody's hearing about it. You know, people have a lot of different opinions to it, but someone that's out there that's thinking, gosh, I don't know what this would be like to talk to a virtual version of Chloe. Your accent makes it super intriguing anyway. So it would be like, I would probably hang out all
Yeah.
day just chatting with you, because I would do it live, but you're busy. But Chloe AI would be like, oh, well, this is kind of cool. But somebody that's like, I just don't know. I don't know how to dive into this AI component. Give us a one or two examples that you might say to, here's how you dip your, pinky toe in the water and give it a try.
Yeah. So firstly, I anyone that signs up to Chloe AI, they will be given resources as how to best utilize her. It's not like you just sign up and you're going, okay, how do I even use this
Oh,
thing? I'm
that's
going to have
good.
a
Yeah.
very comprehensive webinar of me talking and saying, thanks so much for joining us. This is how you can really use Chloe AI. I think what what we do a bit differently is, and what my goal has been, because I think one of the barriers people face with AI is the fact that it's AI and they're not speaking to a real human.
Yeah.
And so people have a bit of a fear around that. Our goal is to kind of combine human expertise with AI innovation. So, long term, with the Chloe AI piece, there'll be human elements embedded in. So, just say, for example, you speak to Chloe AI for a bit, you want to get a resume review. We might say, okay, we're going to send your resume to the humans now. So, we're going to, bring in humans to look at your resume as well. So I think we're really going to focus on having a blend, which I think is what's missing right now. I think a lot of these AI platforms for job seekers are brilliant, absolutely, but they're all AI. They lack the human
Yeah.
element, and
Yeah.
you need to have a blend, which is what's missing, which is what we're working towards.
It's almost holiday time, and one of the best gifts that you could possibly buy your friends, your family, your employees, your coworkers, or maybe just random strangers, you want to just hand out awesome stuff. This book right here makes it excellent, excellent gift. I can personalize it for you. I've got quantity discounts. If you reach out to me, I can talk to you about that. If you go to ripplecentral.com and head on over to the shop, you'll see how affordable this amazing, life-changing, career-changing book can be for you to give as a gift. Little bow on top of this thing, and you're like, hey, let me cast a stone. Let me create some ripples. Let's do it. Ho, 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 in the holiday spirit. Let's get people rippling in the upcoming holiday season. The Ripple Effect, Maximizing the Power of Relationships for Your Life and Business, the third edition by yours truly, Steve Harper, available exclusively at ripplecentral.com. Technically, that's not true. You could get it at Amazon, but those guys keep tearing up my inventory. Like literally, I send them the books and then they tear them up and then they send them back and they want me to send them new books. Don't like that. Big corporate, big box BS going on over there. Just go to ripplecentral.com. I will ship it directly to you. No bows included, because you don't want my bows. They're no good. They don't look good at all. Third graders probably do better bows than me. But the book, awesome, and makes an excellent gift. Holiday gift. It's almost that time, my friends. The Ripple Effect and some of our other things in the shop might just tickle your fancy to give as a gift this holiday season.
So I think for people who are using Chloe AI, if you have fear around it, as I said, you're going to be given a lot of instructions. But secondly, you can always reach out to a human, even though this is an AI tool. So there'll always be someone you could, if you're concerned or you have questions or you're not sure about what you're doing with the tool, there's always someone you can reach out that's a real human that can help you with that. So I think that is just going to be our kind of guarantee. I never like to guarantee anything, but that's going to be our, part of our business is definitely having that combination. And I think as well, when people are approaching these AI tools, like knowing it is AI. Yes, she's been trained on me. Yes, she is my digital twin, but she's still AI. She's still, she's not human. So if she says something that you don't like, it's a robot. And you can
Yeah.
always tell her, like, "Hey, I didn't like what you said there. Let's try that again." And she'll apologize and she'll reframe. So I think that's something as well. Like, and they even have that on OpenAI platforms. Like, sometimes this is a tool. Like, make sure you double check things like that. So, I think that's just something that people need to be aware of. But yeah, just to recap, always going to have the blend of human and AI.
And you hit on that. I think it's such an important factor because, like you said, there are a lot of tools that are out there that are sort of trying to
Mm,
do something similar. But the thing that you're different at, and I did a little bit of research on this, is that you do have that human interaction. You have that
yeah.
human element. And the thing that I think is, I'll make the guarantee on your behalf. You are freaking awesome. If you see, anybody in need, or that you can contribute or add value, or somebody raises their hand and said, I don't get it, or I need help, or something,
Mm,
you are going to be one of the most responsive entrepreneurs because you are
mm,
wanting to provide that level of service. It's the whole reason why you created it. And I think that's
yeah.
what's going to set this apart from all these other, I hate to say gimmicky, but a lot of them are gimmicky little
Mm,
tools, right? Trying to collect data
mm,
and information about you and then try to pitch you on another advanced program or whatever.
yeah.
You came at this from a very pure heart, a real Ripple mindset. And I love that about you
Mm,
because the first and foremost thing that I really learned and really truly appreciate about you is you are of servant heart. You are willing to
mm,
help people in a way that I think a lot of companies don't necessarily look at, and nor do they have a real desire to do. And that makes you a really
yeah.
awesome, genuine entrepreneur. So I know this is going to be a success. I know I encourage our audience to definitely check out the tool, sign up, and give it a
Hmm.
whirl because I think what you're seeing today on video, or if you're hearing this on the podcast, this authentic, amazing woman is just taking what she's done and she's digitally cloned herself. And that tool is going to be
Yeah.
a very, very like example of what you get in real life.
That's right. And yeah, thanks, Steve. Such kind words always. I really appreciate it. And I think I'm very motivated by this blend of human expertise, AI innovation. That even one of the tiers of the membership, the premium option, you get access to my monthly membership where you get 2 live chats with me a month. So if you sign up to that tier, you get Chloe AI and you get me in real life. So really focusing on giving people a bit of both, which I think is so important.
So, as we look to wrap up, what else would you like to share? Is there anything else about the tool or the program itself that you want to make sure people walk away with and understand?
I think what I really want to make clear is anyone that signs up, we're always going to be open for feedback and continuing to improve her. As I said, this is tech that's evolving right now, so it's about, okay, let's get it out there. Let's see how it goes. Let's get some people using it. And if you're one of the first people that are trialing it, you're going to be you're going to be like lifelong members for us, and you're going to get all the perks and benefits because, as I said, we're just getting started. We have such a massive vision for where this is going. We're looking to we're looking to do certain hiring, bring in other experts to support us with this venture as well. So, it's a really exciting time to get on the Chloe AI bandwagon.
Yeah.
But I'm always someone that's open to feedback, and I always want to hear what people's experiences are. So I'd encourage you, if you do sign up, feel free to reach out to me and let me know what your thoughts or your experience is. And don't be afraid to ask questions. As I said, there's going to be plenty of instructions for you to jump in. But we are here to answer those questions for you, to reassure you, to make you feel comfortable with using it. And I think there's a community that I've built with Chloe Careers as well. So once you join, if you decide to join, you're going to be joining that community of job seekers and like minded career builders, as I like to say.
I love it. Well, let's tell the folks how they can go about signing up. Where do they go? What do they do? And what's the best approach here? Because I think you just today, just you're going to fire some folks up. They're going to want to try this out. They're going to want to get really fully engaged in everything that you've got
Mhm.
to offer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a waitlist link, which people can sign up to for the waitlist now, which I can send through to you, Steve.
Okay.
But we're launching officially on Thursday. And so the sign up link, I'll also be sending that to you. But people can jump on the Chloe Careers website, where there'll be the Chloe AI hub, which people can just jump straight into, sign up, choose their membership tier. Every membership's tier, you can get started for free for the first 7 days. So you can just jump in, give it a go. And then, of course, then your membership would start from there. But I am offering discounts for the first certain amount of signups as well. So benefits for people to jump in there early.
Fantastic. Well, it launches November 6th. You'll send me some links. We'll include those in the show notes. We'll also be sure to post this in the pond for the Ripple community as well. Chloe, I just got to say, I'm so grateful to know you. I'm so grateful that our paths crossed. You have become a really good friend and a great supporter of my work and a true, genuine Rippler. But I am just so darn proud of you and everything that you're doing. You laid down the gauntlet like a year ago and said, "This is what I'm going to do. I'm
Mm.
going to test it. I'm going to make it work, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to create my own." And you did exactly what you said you'd do, which is the mark of a fantastically successful entrepreneur. This is going to be an amazing venture for you, and I'm super, super excited to see where it goes and to be a part of it myself. So I'm so grateful that you took the time out of what is a busy week for you to actually stop by and
Yeah.
tell us about it.
Thank you so much, Steve, and always appreciate your support. And yeah, I likewise, I'm so grateful that we cross paths. And yeah, it's always a pleasure. And anyone that supports me and what I'm doing, I'm so grateful for everyone and anyone that chooses to sign up, or even if you just reach out to me as well and have a chat. That's always going to go a long way with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And you're fantastic at it. So, before I let you go, tell everybody how to follow you on Instagram because your videos are the best.
Thanks, Steve. So you can find me at Career Coach Chloe. That's it. Pretty
That's
simple. Career
perfect.
Coach Chloe, Instagram and TikTok. Though I am changing that handle at some point, but not anytime soon. So I'll put it out there for now.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. And we are excited for you. And I wish you the best of luck. Can't wait to see where this goes. But until our next conversation, ripple on, Chloe.